long before the waves rose and covered the earth, before the storm clouds gathered their strength. A single decision made in silence changed the course of all humanity. This is not just the story of a flood. It is the story of a man who dared to remain righteous when the world around him drowned in its own choices. The world flourished with innovation and ambition. Structures rose high, trade routes thrived, and cities pulsed with noise and life. But beneath the surface something darker grew. Selfishness replaced community. Greed replaced humility. Violence became common language. The earth groaned under the weight of human corruption. While the world lost itself in its desires, one man lived quietly, simply, and with purpose: Noah. He farmed his land with patience, raised his children with conviction, and walked a path nearly extinct among humanity, one of integrity. He was not powerful, not wealthy, not celebrated, but he listened to the voice no one else cared to hear. While the world was full of noise, Noah's heart remained open, and in the quiet of an ordinary day he received a message that shattered the boundary between the known and the divine. A storm was coming, not a passing rain, but a judgment vast enough to reshape the face of the earth. The instruction was clear yet incomprehensible. Build an ark, a vessel larger than anything the world had ever seen, not for trade, not for battle, but for survival, for the salvation of humanity and the creatures of the earth. Noah began to work, day after day, month after month, year after year. The world looked on with mockery, amusement, and contempt. To them Noah was a fool, building a wooden giant on dry land, preparing for a storm the sky gave no hint of. With each wooden plank, Noah carved out hope. With every strike of the hammer, he defied the corruption around him. The ark rose slowly, massive, intimidating, majestic, a silent monument to faith. As the ark grew, the world grew worse. Violence worsened, morality crumbled, laughter grew louder, but joy vanished. The more humanity mocked Noah, the more they mirrored the storm that was about to cleanse them. Then something happened that no one could ignore. The animals came, not in fear, not in panic, but with calm purpose. 2 by 2 they walked, swords slivered, and crawled toward the ark, drawn by a command older than the earth itself. Noah stood at the ark's entrance as the last creatures entered. The air shifted. A stillness fell, the kind that happens only before something irreversible. The world had reached its final heartbeat. The rain began with a single drop, soft, innocent, barely noticed, but it carried the weight of all that had been warned. Then another, and another. The heavens opened. Water erupted from the skies and burst from the ground. Rivers swelled into oceans. Mountains bowed beneath waves. Homes, cities, and civilizations dissolved into the rising waters. Everything humanity had built disappeared under nature's judgment. Across 40 days and nights, the ark drifted on a road without land. The line between sea and sky blurred into one broken glow. Inside in the first day, family remains hope, protected by love and fear. Then, silence. The rain stopped, but the wind was still blowing. No one waited. Birds turned into waves. Wind swept across the waters, slowly pushing them away. The rolling mountains once spoke before. Noah raised the door into the open sky. It vanished into the horizon, searching, hoping, wondering. When it returned, it carried a single olive leaf, a whisper of new life, a promise that the earth was healing. When the ark finally rested on solid ground, humanity stepped onto a world washed clean. The air was crisp, the land was quiet, the earth felt reborn, a world without corruption, waiting to be rebuilt. Then in the sky above the new earth, colours unfolded vibrant, breathtaking, alive. A rainbow, a covenant, a promise that the world would never again fall under such destruction. It was a reminder that judgment had passed and mercy had begun. Noah did not save the world with strength, nor with brilliance. He saved it with faith, with obedience, with the courage to stand alone when the entire world moved in the opposite direction. His choice made life possible for every generation after him, including us.